0. We're live, but let me check, make sure everything is cool. Damn it. Let me take that off. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Let me see here. Hang on. It takes a couple of minutes. Everybody knows by now we're not spit and polish here at Soulogy. All right. Let's see. I need something. I need something. Juniper Manellis is in the house. Mary Donovan Stalawarski, but let me double check. Make sure the sound's good because I'm not showing anything here yet. Oh, we got 8 people in. Somebody let me know if the sound's all right. Always interference, it seems. Let me see. Sometimes it's on their end. Let's see. Just 1 second. We're going to roll the show out in about 1 minute. Can anybody tell me if the sound's all right? I'll check on here on my phone.
Sounds okay on my side.
Yeah, we got 20 in the house. Todd and everyone sounds great. Okay, we're good. All right, let me get out of that. Zavetta Da Vinci's in the house. All right, now we're going to go back to. All right. Okay. TL Guadalupe's in the house. Eddie Hensley's in the house. We got a whole soul tribe in here. We got a special show today. Very special show. With a very, very close sister of mine. We spent a few days together and one hell of a night together. On my last night in Sedona, I saw the dog man on the way home. He could have taken me out, but he was just kissing me goodbye. So, yeah. I went to Sedona a few weeks ago. On the first weekend I was there, I covered a conference and I met this beautiful goddess. Incredible. I'll just let the show speak for itself or speak for her. If you're buffering, I'd go out and come back in. It's probably on your device. Especially if you're on a handheld. So for those of you who don't know me, this is because I see some new names here. Candy Lewis loves her. Hello, Paula Guthrie. Eddie says, I didn't know you two knew each other. I think that's what he said.
How it goes.
So my name's Todd Medina, and this is the Soulogy Network. And I just want to remind everybody we're on the cusp of launching on 11/11 at 11/11 Hawaii time. 24/7, 365 Soulogy Network with our first channel. And this beautiful goddess will be one of the people featured on it. So this is our main show. It's called SOULSPEAKS 5D. It's a conversation. And today it's with the beautiful Shakara Tosha. Multi-dimensional light language, star language. There's a bio in the post. A lot of you are probably familiar with her. So I just want to say it's an honor to have her here finally on the show with me. We were going to do something. Well, we did do a couple of things together in Sedona, didn't we?
A couple little things, yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. Welcome. Thank you for honoring us with your presence. And on behalf of everybody, thank you for your service to humanity, because I know you've been getting it done for a long time. It's on you.
Hi, Todd. Hi, everybody. Hey, Eddie, what's up? And friends. Just hanging out with Todd. Shooting the breeze, letting things flow. It's been beautiful adventures the last couple months. Todd was mentioning we got together in Sedona. That was really pretty amazing. You know, you arrived a couple days before I got back there. I've been traveling all around the country and just feeling the call of the rocks. You know, I think a lot of people that go out to Sedona have that experience, and we just met. You know, a couple people asked me to hook up with you, and just divine intervention. You're my soul brother. I love you. Yeah. I really appreciate all the stuff you're doing to get these messages out. And I just really want to honor and respect what you're doing, because it's so important to have everybody's voice heard. And, you know, we're talking about ascension, a lot of different things. You know, I'll get into some light language and stuff later. But it is so important that everybody finds this themselves, and we all need encouragement. We're all getting kind of similar downloads. Everybody I've been talking to recently is just like, oh, you know, sharing stories, and I had that dream, and I had that vision, and everything, and so that's been really magical. And I love watching the speakers on your show, the people on your show, just sharing their heart, and it's really raw and straightforward. And this is what I love so much about what you're doing. It's just really get in there and go, and it's real time, and it's really authentic. So I really appreciate you for being you. And
muchas gracias, mi hermana bonita hermosita. So, you know, I like to ask people, you know, when we get started, is when did you wake up? When did you really wake up? Because a lot of people tell the story they were born with it, then they got away from it, and they went into the 3D. I know you had a very active professional life in New York City, right? Yep. And but I can't remember everything because I don't have a 3D. My 3D memory's leaving me. But I remember you telling me there was a break, though. There was a break, right?
A little bit of a break. Short story is I was pretty much born this way, a little different. I had an artist mom, and she just really kept the space open to be creative and expressive and explore stuff. And when I was real little, I used to see star people come in my room. I could see them physically. And these little Arcturians I was really connected with, but I didn't really understand it at that time. And fast forward, when I was about 3, my aunt got me a teepee from New Mexico. I was in the Midwest, and just went out there and started channeling and chilling with everybody, orbs and beings and elementals and star people, and it just felt really natural. And then I had a couple experiences when I was about 4. I remember going out and lying down in the grass, and I put my hands out like this, and I could see light coming from my hand and kind of circled around. And then I felt this very, very big being standing behind me. It was like a beam of light. And they said something very funny. They said, in your 20s or 30s, you're going to have a really rough tests. And then your 40s and 50s, you're going to really understand what your mission is. So don't worry about it. Don't think about it anymore. Forget everything we told you and go play. And I remember standing up and like walking around and looking down at my body, and I wasn't really in my body. And I had a very mature thought, like, what do 4-year-olds do? And where do they, you know, how do they move? So I was watching my friend move, and then just kind of synced back in. But what was really amazing is because my mom was an artist, we had a studio at home, and I used to draw symbols and scripts and graphics and galactic languages, and I would sing and do performances. I was doing this whole multimedia show when I was little, got into video really early, and painting, drawing, sculpture, kind of everything. Just loved every medium of expression. But I was a really, really quiet child. My mom was a twin, and they would telepath across the table. So I would just watch them going, And so I remember going to school in kindergarten, and I was doing this because I did not talk till I was really much later, verbally a lot. And people thought, you know, something was going on with me. And so it was good. I was kind of a loner, but as I think many people are when they're kind of touched in this way with these, whatever you want to call them, energies, gifts, or whatever. And fast forward, I went to art school, you know, graduated, went to New York, worked at all these really interesting places, like big art gallery that represent a lot of really, really well-known artists. And then I got into web producing. So I became a website designer, producer, coder. Of course, I was coding. It was coding tag, like really early code, writing code from scratch. And but I was always doing these galactic writings, just scripts, books and books and books. And you know, I remember my mom saying, you know, I would tell her something and she'd just say, go paint it. I'd say, there was a star person standing over there. I didn't know that word at the time, but I was like, there's a being. And she goes, cool, just talk to him, hang out. You know, so that was never really shut down for me. Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then somehow I got into the corporate world. Had some very senior positions at publishing companies, marketing, communications, etc. I was working with lots of managing directors, and I just really dabbled in a lot of different industries. And I didn't understand at the time why, but now I realize it's so that I could have the experience from the inside and eventually know how to communicate some of these messages to those people from all those walks of life. So that was cool. I was in New York for about 35 years, and amazing. I feel like I've been through so many different places, so many personalities. I mean, sort of just, I was punk in high school and really into funk and punk and dance music. I was rapping for a little while. A lot of things people don't know about me when they see some of the more current, presentations and stuff I do, but always trying to put these things together. And then real quickly, I hooked up with this Lakota chief named Chief Golden Light Eagle, who I found because I was doing these symbols. So I found the symbol, went online, thank God for Google and searching, found out he was doing a Star Knowledge conference, and I went, and I just went in and connected with him, and I felt this brother, this brother relationship, very much like I have with you. It's just like, hi, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a couple thousand years. Or maybe, or maybe a couple millennia. So, yeah. And we're all finding our tribe, So I was connected with that family and then other families. And anyway, my daughter and I moved to the Midwest and started doing sacred ceremonies. So we were doing sweat lodges, and I became a sun dancer in the Lakota tradition. So I just finished my 4th year of sun dancing, which was really amazing. But that's when I would get all these messages. And I saw this 2 grandmothers actually speaking the star language. And my ears perked up when I heard it, this light language. I was like, oh, what is that? What is that? And they said, this is light language, And so later I said to one of these grandmothers, I really want to say something. And it just started coming out. But it wasn't one language. It was like one after another after another. And then this other grandmother was saying that's Pleiadian, that's Arcturian, that's kind of Maori, that's this Northwest Pacific, this is Tausetian, naming all these things. And then she said there was this one guide that maybe is a higher aspect of myself from the 66th dimension. I said, wow, okay. Named Leo Ashtanila, that's one of the guides. And then all this stuff just started happening. It's amazing how it's evolved. So I started going in dream time, and I would see these guides and feel them around. And then I would wake up, they'd get me up on these time codes, 333, 444, 555, these master numbers. And then really it just evolved very quickly. I'd write notes on my phone, dictate or type it half asleep under my covers, for like 7 hours every day for the last 5 years. It's been nonstop. And then I was able to start doing these presentations at some of these conferences, and I didn't quite know what to do. I was still figuring out how to put the pieces together. And I just was guided by these guides to put a slideshow in the back, do some music, make it very multidimensional, and just channel these languages. So it's pretty much freestyle, but I got all these messages. But there are lots of triggers throughout the time. At the same time, dealing with, as we all do, 3D. Bills and people and children and what's going on in relationships and everything. And so this balance we're trying to get centered in again is pretty fun, especially right now.
Right. So let me just say this first to everybody. I apologize for the delay. I don't have a great signal. We've got great audio, but I'm going to be like one of those Japanese karate movies. My mouth's going to be moving. Nothing's going to be coming out. So yeah, and what's cool, and we can get into all this is, and I have my first question for you. But you do all kinds of stuff. You do scat, you do rap, you do light language, you do star language. You do these high what do you call it? Hieroglyphics,
yep.
Galactic hieroglyphics, glyphs, whatever.
Yeah.
So you write and you speak at these conferences. Is where I met you. Although I couldn't get you to get up and freestyle the last night we were with hanging out with your friends. But next time we'll have to do that. And I'll do it. I
would love to. I just know that group, it was a karaoke night, and they're pretty hardcore. I have no problem. I have no fear of getting up and doing whatever.
we are way showers. We do have to show people the way,
That's true.
So it's not
That's
the
true.
normal. But let me ask you a question. What is the difference between light language and star language?
So these guides, what's really cool about working with these guides is they're showing me things when I'm channeling with something. And they also teach me things while it's working. So I'll ask them, I'll be channeling and I'll say, well, how does that work? And, they explain things to me, which is, so I'm getting an education mentally and emotionally while I'm doing this. But one of the ways they explain it, the light language is, as I understand it, there are many, many people that are doing this now. It's so amazing. It's like the new black or the new orange. It's like very fashionable, which is pretty, people are just tuning into this in lots of different ways. And I understand that there's an original language that everybody spoke. And I think it's the language of love. And I think it's sound tones. Everything comes from light, sound, and vibration. And out of that, as you can study languages evolved, cultures evolved, that kind of thing. And there was a kind of a fragmentation, but everybody inherently in their soul, in their body system, understands some coherent language. What I'm noticing is as we're shifting into these higher dimensions, I believe we're already shifted in the physical up to 13, like 5 to 13, I can talk about later, but your consciousness and your senses and your abilities start expanding. So your pineal gland starts opening, your telepathy, your ability, all the stuff, your auric field, just the way that you sense and perceive what we consider these dimensions are changing because we're kind of breaking into that. So when somebody speaks light language, it's an energy pattern that I can sometimes psychically see. I actually see when people are speaking it, codes or energy forms coming out of their mouth or from their body. They're kind of emanating this stuff. So it's like, I think of it like a packet of information that's tuned into the creator spirit, creatress, whatever you want to call it, the blending of the masculine and feminine. And it's just energy that comes through. So people can say something and it can sound nonsensical to your 3D mind, like it's not a specific sentence structure, but it's an energy pattern and it carries information, but you feel it. It's a heartfelt language. The star languages are more like each of the star nations, like Tau Ceti, Pleiadians, Arcturian, Orion, Sirian, et cetera, et cetera. There's 100 millions of them, actually. Each vibrate at a different dimension, so some are physical and some aren't, but they each have a structured language. So sometimes I can differentiate if somebody's speaking with me or whatever's coming through me. I can kind of identify, oh, this sounds like Arcturian or something. And the same thing with the symbols. There's certain writing that I can recognize. So the language, light language, is not just spoken. It can be sung, it can be written, it can be danced. It's just a movement of energy. So that's how I understand it, basically.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I know the last night we were together after we worked that day with your friends that had come into Sedona, we were at this establishment and this young guy was standing there, kind of like just standing to the side listening to our conversation, and you welcomed him into the circle, and then you guys, and I filmed this against your objection, but you guys started talking star language or light language, and you didn't even say, hey, let's talk star language. You just started talking that way to him. How did you know that young guy could pick up on that?
So I actually felt him coming over. He was resonating with our energy because everything is a law of attraction. So I just started a conversation. We were talking about energy and Sedona and just shifts of what's going on. And I just said something to him and it triggered something back. And I said, oh, okay, you're just feeling it. So say a little bit more, say a little bit more. I had no problem with you recording it, but I wanted him to feel comfortable. But he was cool with all that. But it was more just kind of getting in the vibe. I really wanted you to just watch us doing it, and my friends to watch us doing it to feel what it's like when there's a conversation. When I get together with my other buddies that speak star language, there's about 5 to 10 of us, probably really 5, a core group. We just don't even speak English. We just start with light language. And it doesn't matter because it's not literal, it's a feeling. And it's like you get these thought forms, it's almost like telepathy. So this guy came over, he was standing there, and we just started vibing. And what was so beautiful is to hear people's expressions. What I'm noticing when I speak at conferences or I do these light language sessions, these guidance sessions with people. A lot of times when I speak language, they'll feel it. They'll feel guides around them, around me. They'll feel an energy shift. And a lot of times they start crying because it's an ancient language. A lot of the ones that I've been speaking more are these very ancient grandmother languages, Lemurian, very much Hawaiian, in tune with where you're at right now too. There's a lot of grandmother energies or old dragons. I mean, very similar to what you're picking up right now. That are bringing these languages in. They're activating and awakening. So what they do is I could speak it and people just get a feeling about it. But I can also speak it and sometimes people just start talking back. And it's really pretty fascinating.
Yeah, it was cool. That guy, he didn't start crying, but you could just see his whole face light up. And then his light language was kind of like almost like this operatic, opera thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It was like it was so cool. Yeah. If anybody wants to see that, you can go to the archives on my personal page, videos, go to albums, photos, albums, and videos, and you'll see him down there when we were in Sedona, probably about 25 videos back.
He was very elfin. A lot of elfin energy. I mean, even his ears are a little pointy. So as I'm working with people and interacting with people, sometimes I can see in their physiognomy a little bit about their star side, but it's like I can feel these guides. Like right now, I feel kind of a crew. I call them my consultants. There's Arcturian here. I work with Sasquatch, who are also star people, who I love. They're just amazing, amazing beings. And Arcturian, there's like a Hathor here. I mean, they're just, when I feel this come in, and a lot of people have this experience if they're in tune or out on the land or have any like star people experiences, when they come around, because our dimension is so dense, you feel this incredible pressure. So the ringing in your ears, what feels a little like tinnitus, sometimes that's just a recalibration, but sometimes you can feel them around. I feel huge pressure on my head, almost to the point where I get dizzy. So I got to get centered. So I'm feeling like they want to say stuff.
So how are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm doing great. I just want to start talking star language.
You want me to put on some background music?
Sure. Yeah, let's just
see what rolls.
Okay.
And I want to make sure. Now, you don't mind running an hour and a half, do you?
No, I'm fine. I'd love to.
Yeah, we can run another hour from this point on because I want to make sure that we get into the work that you do as well. Okay, because you are going to be one of the core people that's featured on the Soulogy channel. There's going to be many, many people, and again, like you said earlier, and thank you for that compliment. Soulogy is not Todd; it's an energy, and it's really the voices of the Mother Goddess frequency in all of us, and. So, but in the beginning, in the launch, you're going to be one of the 15, 20 people that we're going to be featuring. So I want to get into the things that you do so people can have an expanded awareness of what you do.
Awesome.
So let me put on a little bit of this is French, but it looks like less nuts to me.
La nuit, the night.
La nuit.
It's funny. I'm like, I can't stop. My face feels like it's going to explode. I'm so happy.
Well, I'm happy you're here with me, sister.
Well, this is really about bringing joy, and that's some of these messages. Maybe I'll say some star languages and just channel some messages that are coming to mind. It's really all intuitive. I have no idea what I'm going to say until I sense it's really for whoever's kind of tuning in, even in future time. So, yeah. It's a little staticky, but I can hear you.
I get you. Hang on. I got you. All right, here we go.
Hey, Melissa.
Just tell me if it's too loud.
A little bit loud. Yeah, you can put it down.
Lower?
Up a little bit. Here, I'll sign. Okay. I'll just channel for a little bit. Maybe just a little bit more sound. I would get really moved by music.
Speak into your microphone.
Okay. Is that good?
That's better.
Okay. It's funny, there's a delay. I see you talking and then I see you moving.
Yeah, there's a delay with me, but you're good.
Okay. So I just want to share some messages and share some light language with everybody who's watching right now. And just know that this language and these energies flow through all of us. Everyone has this ability.
Hold your mic up.
Okay. This one? Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear. That way I can hear what they're hearing. Go ahead.
Okay. I like to use my hands. There you go. It's good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So I just want to create a really beautiful space for everybody and just bring in some love. It's really what it's about. And we are collaborating this together. So my spirit name is Shakara Tosha, beautiful violet star woman, Shakara Tosha. Nuwala kaine asoko tuwashime. Niki tuwashime na ala wakaine wa sambote seki tuwashime. Ano soko. Ushiki te wala kaine wa sambote seki tu wala kaine wa sambote seki. See, this ascension shift that we're going through has already happened. We're just living into it now. We're just walking into it. Chikuwela kaine wa sambote se. Everybody has been seeded from many, many star systems. Your whole body system is a map of the cosmos, map of Mother Earth. This energy that's coming back now, what they call the divine feminine, is ancient memories are being reactivated. Ancient memories are coming in and awakening your DNA and all the photons in your body. Everything is awakening. So we're just remembering. It's very simple. There's no work in this. Yeah, you can turn the music down a little bit. I can freestyle without. That's okay.
I got you covered on the music.
Okay, because somebody said they can't hear.
Yeah, but that I already took care of it.
Got it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
What you're hearing is a little bit different than what they're hearing, but I got you covered.
Okay. So the message I really want to bring in is from the star people. They say we're all seeded from the stars, and what's happening now is your pineal gland is opening, your awareness, your higher senses and your higher abilities are coming through, and you're just awakening. Everybody's awakening. So this is happening because of these solar flares from the sun. It's affecting the photons in our body. Everything is being stimulated. So these ancient dormant memories are coming online right now. So this is why people are having what they call the ascension symptoms. A lot of energy shifts are happening. So we're moving up in waves. It's so funny. Whenever I do this static technology is very very, very testy, with these energies. I'm just freestyling. So What's happening is we're starting to see in higher dimensions, which means our psychic abilities are coming through. So you're going to start to see patterns and grids and forms, sacred geometry, and light. I've been noticing a lot of orbs lately, and beings just kind of walking through peripheral. And it's just an amazing time to be alive. You know, we were born here with this consciousness that there was a veil of consciousness that was put over us before we got here. All of us that are walking this earth, it's like we really did get the golden ticket. And this is the time now to really come to terms with our gifts and our abilities as humans, as physical, all that stuff, mastering our emotions. So this is like a school that we're just learning, and it's the hardest school, I think, especially for people that are really tuned in. It's very hard physically to be here sometimes, but it's really about mastering this. So when people talk about ascension, this ascension is also the descension. So we're meeting at a certain point. What the star guides are showing me is that our higher self and our star beings are coming down into this dimension in the physical. So some people wonder what's going to happen. Where are we going when this event is happening? We're in the event. We've actually passed through the event, and everybody has their own perspective. So what you believe, what you resonate with, everything is a law of attraction. This is what they're teaching me, is that whatever you resonate with is what you're going to create around you, which is what you're going to see. So it's a belief system and that kind of thing, but it's really how you're going to experience your world at every moment is really up to you, right? So is it's a unique experience that we're all kind of collectively sharing. So part of this time I'm learning is to find your place in all of this while you're also connecting with other people, like you're doing on your show. A lot of different visions, a lot of different messages, but each person has kind of work and understanding they need to figure out for themselves, and then other things that they can share to help other people. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. I'm just battling electronics here. There's a lot of stuff going on.
I have to say, it usually happens when I speak, because these guides come in and they're pretty they're pretty powerful.
Well, yeah, I've gone through it before, but this one was happening like on a multiple level. So I got it all under control now, but I'm not going to put the music back on until the very end.
That's okay. We don't need music. I can just sing too.
So let me ask you something. I always try to put myself in the audience's shoes,
Sure.
to try to keep this as universal as possible from one end of the spectrum to another. But I certainly think it'd be a great idea to do some more of this with the explanation. The way you do that, it's so beautiful, and it's full of codes. But so what happens to people that say, hey, how come I can't speak light language? Does everybody get to speak a light language, or does just some people do it?
Well, I think we all do. When babies speak and they gugu gaga gugu gawilikin washambodese, it's coming naturally. We get talked out of it. So this is what this matrix system is about. When we come into this world, it's already hard coded programming. I don't really align with disclosure stuff. I'm very happy that people are feeling the need to share that. But for people that are kind of awakening right now, everything that's going on in science, religion, politics, art, music, food systems, their body system, parenting, everything. It's all orchestrated. I had this aha moment about 4 years ago where I just realized every single thing down to the nth degree is decided or determined before we do it most of the time. The only thing that you have that's authentic to yourself is your feelings, your emotions, and your experiences. So we learn. So we're taught, we shifted into the other, the left brain, very mental, learning how to make money, learning how to go to school, learning how to process information. It's all informational. But people are
very programmable. The programmable side.
Yep. So everything that's happening, the spraying, the vaccines, et cetera,
Yeah.
it's all to dummy that down, but it's not working anyway because we're awakening because of these outside factors. So a lot of people are concerned about this. And what I'm shown, I mean, it changes from day to day too, but what I'm shown is there are technologies and capacities and beings, physical and star people, elementals that are working 24/7 around the clock just to keep things flowing. But there's tools and technologies that can shift stuff. So, you know, everything has a purpose, just like every person has their own particular karma.
Yeah.
You know, they have to figure it out on their own.
I think that's a good point what you bring up. I just want to touch on that because something happened this morning. That's why I wasn't able to get in touch with you this morning. So I thought I'd go out to the beach this morning after breakfast and do my third Hawaii video. And so I get out there and I'm told basically I knew I was supposed to turn on YouTube, and I got my headphones in. And the next thing you know, I'm listening to this guy who's talking about, the video was released a couple of days ago, talking about the political scene, talking in an alternative news type of way. And I thought, why am I listening to this? And as the waves are crashing on my feet, and the mother's telling me, just shut up. But I got kind of the same aha moment because I've been struggling with a little bit with, retaining the full diversity of all expressions on the Soulogy network, but not to feed that monster. And I'm just, do I have people come on that are going to talk about this and talk about that, which to me is more of a distraction. But what I realized was that it's all that consciousness just trying to continue to have its existence. So that's where the programming comes in. And, whether this political figure is linked to that political figure, to that one, to this one, to that one, there is no good guy, bad guy. It's just strictly a consciousness, almost like an AI consciousness that just wants to retain its life vitality. And so, that's a good point that you bring up, your aha moment. Sounds like it was very much like what happened to me this morning.
Yeah, well, I as I understand it, from my own experience and these messages that I'm getting, is everything is relevant. There's dark and light. There's the light and the shadow. The shadow, there's nothing wrong with any of that. Every form of expression is part of creation. And a lot of the messages that I've received are really about creation and manifestation, and everything is valid. There's 365 points of reference, and the dark, from everything as an artist looking at the world, and I could see it that way instead of more literal. But everything, you need shadow to define light, and you need light to define shadow. And as I understand it, I feel the creator just said, I want to experience everything and put all these energy forms out. And that part of free will that the Arcturians talk about a lot, they have a deep understanding of free will. This is a free will planet, so everything is possible. There are other planetary systems, as I understand, that are really regulated. You can't do certain things, you have to be a certain way. But this is what happens with free will. It's one big experiment. So what are you going to do? The problem is somebody decided, oh yeah, we can take advantage of this, but there are tricks to that. So, the fall, et cetera, et cetera. This is what happened in Atlantis. And by the way, Atlantis and Lemuria are coming up for people a lot because, when you think about the Mayan calendar, everything is cyclical. So time is done, by the way that we experience time. We're just locked in 3D because a lot of people collectively did not get the memo. But in 3D, there is duality. I said they didn't get the memo. The only reason we're having a 3D conversation is because there are still people vibrating in it that are kind of entrained energy. They don't know any different. So you get numbed down and you just think, okay, this is the way it's going to go.
Well, and I think there's a lot of people like when we met, it seemed like we were having the conversations that we had 3D, we had prior to even meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had 5 or 6 meetings where we're like sitting down and talking, like, hey, we already did this, and I think we're starting.
It was already a done deal.
Yeah.
I mean, we were kind of telepathing already when we saw each other because it's a law of attraction. So what I like to share with people, especially when I do these sessions, I do these light language sessions, and it's really not me doing anything with a person. I'll just speak language and whatever messages are relevant for them or needed at the time.
Now you do, when you do these sessions, and I know you do more than one type, but when you do these sessions, it's both the written hieroglyphics and also the light language. Is that correct?
Sometimes. So I do, I offer light language guidance sessions, but they're really just inspirational sessions for a person. My guides will tap into their guides and their higher self, and I just channel messages for them. So I'll stream in whatever's necessary and helpful for that person. So it can be on any topic. It's basically a casual conversation where I speak light language throughout the call, and or I do it on Skype, or sometimes when I do it in person. And these languages are activating and help kind of rejig something inside the person to remember something about themselves. Yeah. Then they'll ask a question or a topic, and it can be about anything. It doesn't really matter because it's all energy. Career, life, relationships, their spirit path. And there's something that just comes in. The guides that come and speak through me when I'm talking to a particular person, which is very different than this audience and very different than a presentation, are carrying, it's almost like they carry these messages that are recodings for people. So what they're showing me is all the star people, all these ascended masters, all the elementals have a certain kind of vibration and a kind of job and a kind of skill set, just like people, and so I'm learning actually with calling songs and that kind of thing to tap into these energies that are relevant to the person, to help the person remember, like awaken something in themselves. So those are I'll speak language and the messages. And then separately, I do painting. I'm still painting and drawing. And so I'll write glyphs and that kind of thing. I sell those sometimes when I do presentations. And it's really interesting. They show me how to read a person's energy field, write star language on the back, put my hand over it, intuit the information that I'm supposed to speak to them. It's like a coded language. And sometimes it's to help them remember. Sometimes it's to make some other kind of etheric connection to their star self or their star family, or help them kind of rejig something on their path. And I do what's called energy frequency signatures, usually only in person or after I do a session. It's like an add-on where I feel how creation, the seeds of creation and energy of creation moves through them, like DNA. I can feel energetically if there's a block in their physical body or energy system. I just basically draw these maps. It's like a portrait of glyphs and energy, and they're all completely different. So this is really unique one-on-one. And then I'll write a script that's relevant to their star tribes or their family tribes. And then I record the light language message, and I can send it to them digitally, or I do it in front of them. So it's just coming out a lot of different ways. Sometimes I'll draw symbols, that kind of thing. But basically the sessions are what I offer. And then they can also do this additional artwork that's customized for them. So,
very cool.
Yeah.
And so just I want to go on to a little sidebar issue.
Yeah,
So,
go for it.
The whole thing with the rap, the scat, the melody to your star and light language. This is all really just different forms and expressions of the light language and the star language.
Absolutely. Yep. So I want to actually speak a couple languages just so people can hear a flavor, because these guides that I'm feeling right now, what's really interesting is this is what they want me to explain first. Everybody has guides that walk with them. I learned from this Lakota chief, my brother, that everybody has 7 aspects of them. They're actually aspects of yourself. They're connected to, the star ways, the earth ways, grandfather, grandmother, holy mother, holy father, and you are one of your guides. So you can actually tap into any one of these realms and dimensions and get help or get understanding or get guidance as your life is going along. So nobody is ever alone. And one of the things that happens when I speak this light language, they feel this relief, oh, wow, somebody understands me. Somebody is out there helping me. I'm not alone. And that's what, especially with the languages, people feel so moved. And I do too. Sometimes I'll cry. It's just really, really beautiful. It's a heartfelt communication. But the the languages, it's interesting. I'm just going to say a couple things, and then I want to tone something. I actually want to just create a meditation moment and do that, because I'm being guided as it's evolving, just like everybody is evolving. These languages are evolving. My interaction with these guides are evolving. I mean, it's incredible. So I've amassed all this material that I'm going to start putting out in books and webinars and stuff. But I'm really called, once I do that, videos and CD music collaborations with people, once that's done, I'm just going to freestyle channel all the time. But these guides came to me about a year ago, and they said, all those downloads that came were just for your own understanding. They said, when you integrate it in your life and share it with people, whether it's a teaching or a message or an art form, doesn't matter. You're activating these seed codes, these energy codes that just transfer. So everybody speaks light language, but they don't have to speak it. Everybody feels an energy pattern. Everybody has the ability inherently in their human body to be able to move things, to be able to pick up energies and that kind of thing. So anybody can do this, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to understand it. You don't have to speak it. It's, you know, other people just, they dance it or they work it. They'll build it. It's a way of moving energy, so to speak. So they said to me, after I got all these downloads, they said, you don't need to do anything with that. You know, all those 15, 20 books that you're going to do, you can do it if you want, but just sing. So the interesting thing for me was I had somebody who shut me down in my family that said, you can't sing. You know, you've got a bad voice. And I said, okay. I just took it on and believed it and believed it and believed it. And so I couldn't find this voice. And I think so much of my journey right now, I've been on the road for about a year, finding my voice, which is what I'm doing, is helping other people finding their voice, whatever that may be. It's about expression, these throat chakras. And what happened for me was I was in a sweat lodge, and there was some spider energy that came in here and just unlocked this. And I was singing Lakota songs at the top of my lungs, and all of a sudden I found this voice that I've never heard before. It was so shocking. And we're doing this with all of our expressions, all our ups and downs. Everything that we're going through right now has a purpose. It has a purpose. It's important for us to break free of whatever restrictions we've ultimately put on ourselves. So anyway, these languages are just, it was real weird when I first started speaking this. I felt kind of like a freak, you know, and then I said, you know, I'm coming out of my spiritual closet. So here I go. There's a whole other side of me that I really want to share that I've been very protective of, which is just me being quirky, being weird and fun. But you know, and you've actually, by doing what you're doing, you're reminding me that it's important. It's imperative that we find this voice in ourselves, whatever stage of emotion we're at, whatever. So I thought I'd just share a couple languages, if that's okay.
This is what it's for. It's a platform for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shuku la kaino wa shangi, asuko tu shimi, o la kaino wa shumbo dese. Nusuku tu shimi nu la kaino wa shango dese ki tu shini. Ano la kai tu shama mo suko tu shimi nu saki. Siki tu shane nu la kaino wa shumbo dese. Anasuko tu I kele wa kaino wa shumbo dese ki tu shimi nu la ka. Ano so ko tu shimi nu la kaino wa shangi dese ki tu shimi nu la ka. Asokoto, no shamoto, la kino shanko dese. Anosokoto shimin wala kind of desecutu shanne, or ten no shambo luach, ten no shingita doa. Actin was budi, I know la ka, no shambudo la kino shambo desecate to a shane. To within kino, what the kino was shambo to kinda, actin was budula, I would do the kino was budula kino, was shankita, zinc or like. Siginum la kan mo height wa shimo la kain wa shanko te sekit to shimi. Ach tu no a mo la kain do shingi te sekit to shimo la kain wa shimo height. Ano lo mo shuko te ki no shimo la kain no shimo da height to shimi. Height to shimi no la kain da height to shin no sakat to shima mo la kain. Shimin wala ka. 主性不的爱的我什么的，是故乌拉开努西民我拉开呢我什么的是基督是呢，爱我上啦爱基督多是民我拉开呢啊所过多是民，是故多了金，是故多是民我拉开啊，莫是基督多是呢我拉开，啊那是故多是呢啊 no 就过他，是故了金我什么的是金。Aina wala kaina wa shinesiya. Shana wala kaina wa shinewasi. Aina wa shamana wa si. Shan wala kasu. Shan ni soku nila nisiku isi. Aindu wala kainu wa shamadu wa singin wala kainu wa satasu. Ainu wala kainu wa shinna wa sakuti. Ainu asu, anu wa sanisu. Adu wala kainu wa shambuti. Songo wala kainu wa shonno wa singi wala kai. Sai no sana su, ai no singing wasa, ai. Shumoto sikine wala kaino shamoto sine su. They want me to rap now.
All right, now we're getting into my genre. Let's go.
中国来看呢，我什么都会信的，都会信，因为我来看呢，哦。I gotta move my body. It's really weird to sit. I don't sit very often.
Stand up.
I got a lot of energy. No, it's all right. I just gotta move. I can do it with music too. It's good. No sakitito wala kaino wa shimboto se una sakuto wala kinne shuma sakuto shimen wala kaino wa shimboto sakito wala kaino. They're like 10 of them coming through right now. So funny. I'm just having fun.
Well, what's really interesting, and I want to ask you, what's interesting is when I heard you speak it when I was with you, because I've heard Morgan, and I can understand her. Which I can't explain that, but I can understand her. And then with you, I could pick up things, and now I'm picking up a whole lot. Maybe because I've been exposed to you before. I don't know, but so the messages to me like that I'm picking up they're not coming in English. It's almost like a download or a transmission. Is this the type of thing that you do when you're working with somebody one-on-one?
Yep. Yeah. It's the same one-on-one, or if I'm speaking to a group, if I'm doing a ceremony or a workshop. I do light language workshops, activation workshops, how to stimulate that for people. I'm going to start to do these webinars and break them out, like not courses. They say don't teach new modalities, just do it in your way, just like you're doing your way, and people will pick it up in their way. But it's about exercises and stuff. So but yeah, when I do this, these languages stimulate some. I mean, I'm going by what people tell me their responses and their experience, but stimulates something inside of them to remember. It's really hard to put into words. It's almost like it's higher than verbal. So it's a feeling. Like right now, I am I'm burning up. I'm really feeling hot because I can feel these energies coming through. It's what they show me is everybody has a mission. So many lifetimes you've done something. Everybody comes from different star systems. So you could be Pleiadian, then went to Arcturus, then went to Cygnus, and then came down here. So we've got all these strings or strands of our galactic DNA, our physical DNA, and that kind of thing. And what's happening now is we're kind of piecing them together. At the same time, we're like an onion, and pulling off layers that don't things that don't serve us anymore. You know, relationships that are unhealthy, food, recalibrating our food. So you can do it consciously, or you can just have it done to you because it's happening anyway. But these languages somehow help people, I don't know, remember what their mission is. I am told that everybody that's walking on the planet right now has a purpose. Everybody is important and everybody is needed. It's part of the collective. There's a reason why everybody's here right now. And it's to find your special gifts, to find your talents and blend it with something that you love. So like many, many lifetimes, I feel like I feel like a very, very ancient soul. And yet I have this kind of young energy about me, but it kind of flip-flops a little bit. But I can feel these ancient ways of, you know, all these times we've gone through all these hardships, all these persecutions, all these difficulties. And especially this, I really want to get into a little bit about the divine feminine. I did a vision quest. For Sundancing, I do 4 days of vision questing out on the land. And 2 years ago, we went out to what they call the Devil's Tower, which is the grandmother tree. It's actually a tree. My guides told me it was a tree. This chief told me it was a tree. And these are ancient. I can't say artifacts. They're still alive. These energies are still alive. But I was informed that there was these ancient trees like the Avatar tree on each of the 7 continents. And they were the things that kept life sustained on the earth. It was inside the earth, outside the earth, the galactic connection. And, you know, dimensions and gravity and time and space were very different then. So beings could be bigger. You know, there were giants and there were Sasquatch beings that are ancient people and all of that. But anyway, I was there and I asked this grandmother in an altered state, I said, why did you allow yourself to be cut? Why did this happen? Why were people persecuted? Why are people having these recurring thoughts of being, especially women, being plagued and harassed and mutilated and burned at the stake and all the stuff? Or why is there this tolerance for that? I didn't understand. And she said, I'm really moved still when I think about this because I could hear her voice in my head. And she said, everything was connected to source. And at one point, when people started differentiating, they forgot. It's really, I'm really feeling this. She said they forgot what they inherently always have had. They forgot about their connection to Creator. But it wasn't like serving Creator. They were the Creator. They had the soul seeds, the essence, the life of creation itself inside of them. And so slowly, little by little, we had to separate. So she said, I allowed myself to be cut until people remembered and came back by choice. And this is what this time is about right now, is making an active choice. How do you want to live your life? Who are you? You have to be curious and that kind of thing. So it's about returning to the center in lots of different ways. There's tools, there's techniques, there's ceremony, but the key is connecting with nature because it's so important. Water, this water is the water of life. In Lakota, they call it mini wichoni. This is star seed, stardust. This is how we're all connected with each other. We're part of the earth. I've been traveling. I don't know why I'm going off in this direction, but I've been traveling on the land, especially in Sedona. My friend and I go out on the land and just offer prayers and sing the songs to the land and sing the songs back to the land. We just zone out and are completely connected with the earth people and the stone people and the tree people and the water people. That's what's inside of us. And it's not just about giving alms or whatever to earth. It's really, really understanding that connection that we all have. So it's like a judgment that we made on ourselves that we're not good enough, we're not part of that, or
small.
And that's how these systems started happening. Somebody said, oh, well, these people think that they need a mediator. This is what all this AI stuff is all about, or learning outside of yourself, or even technology. You know, these they're just tools. There's nothing bad about any kind of technology. It's just energy. Even the star people tell me they use technology fused with galactic metals, but it's alive because they honor it and have they in tune with it in natural.
It's all made of the same substance. It's all the same.
Exactly.
God is. Let me ask you something. I notice a lot of people, and I would include myself, in the last 7 years, I mean, people receive powerful transmissions, downloads, channelings, gifts, skills, and abilities. It's a very much a challenge at times to the ego. The higher the soul goes, the higher your awareness goes, the higher the ego goes. I mean, how do you maintain your balance for those people who are just getting into this and who are starting to receive things? People are getting more code opened up in them every day. How do you on a personal level do your best to maintain your balance?
Well, I do a lot of things. I do certain ceremonies to keep me in alignment. I sundanced and I do sweat lodges and that kind of thing, but I also do my own personal ceremonies. I go out on the ground and pray. I look at the stars. And the sun. I'm a sun gazer. I'll stare at the sun and connect because that has information. It's just information. Because I can feel it everywhere in my body. I can scry things. I hold energies, and if there's something little bit off in my energy field, whether somebody comes in a room and I can feel it or whatever, I'm really, really empathic, especially for those people that are empathic. I don't talk about this so much, but I can kind of feel and see every movement of energy, whether it's an animal or whatever. And I try to tune in with that energy at the highest vibration I can. But this is really the challenge that we have, even just functioning in the 3D world. How can you maintain a center while this stuff is going on? And then I realized I have been through so many tests, life tests, big life tests in the last year. Basically, I left my house. I went on a journey. I've been traveling all over the country, doing all this stuff. But the hardest things were looking at myself and being with myself on the land and asking and connecting. What am I doing here? Why? And then these messages would come in, and it's hard to make sense of. But what I want to say to people that are listening is that it's okay. It's going to trigger memories of someone telling you that's weird, that's bad, it's wrong, it's the devil's work, et cetera, et cetera. Don't worry about that. The most important thing is not to worry anymore about what people think or what people. Everybody has a right to their own opinion, but when you honor this free will, two people can come together. You can have a difference of understanding, but the emotion doesn't have to get involved if there's you're not defining or declaring something. So this is where you lose your ego. Ego is just there. It's your mind just there going, oh, well, I think they don't like me, or I don't like what they did, or it hurt me or something. It's usually out of fear, which is what this whole program is about, that we're breaking out of. It's just fear or judgment. So when we lose it ourselves, I constantly have to work on myself. Something will come up or somebody will do something. I'm going, okay. I try to sustain my judgment for a moment and just say, let's just feel it out. What does this person need? This person is needing something. They're not getting what they need. How can I help them? When you start thinking about being in service to other people, everything that you've had a problem with disappears, or it shifts, or something that you need gets resolved. And that's all I found. So it's a combination of trying to eat healthy, really, really get on the land and get in tune with nature. I touch trees, I talk to rocks and everything. When you physically connect like that, it helps. But people are going to start to hear voices in their head. A lot of my friends that aren't even connected with this stuff at all are calling me saying, what's going on?
Who are these people, man?
Like, oh my God, and there are technologies that are being utilized that.
Absolutely.
So that's the biggest challenge. I've spoken at 3 conferences, and there's been very interesting energy around testing. Yeah. So people talk about the dark coming out. Yeah, there are, that is really happening. But if you don't align to it, it's not going to touch you.
That's right. I think that conference that we met at was a good example of that. I'm not judging anybody, but there was two energies prevalent, just like there's two energies prevalent when we walk out in the world every day. But you're right. You can align with whatever you want to align with.
Yeah.
We're
See,
choosing our
each of,
timelines as much as we're clearing them.
well, we're actually creating it, and this is the shift that happened that I try to mentally express to people, and then energetically show them and connect with them in a different way. It's a whole paradigm shift. We think something is happening to us. We've been taught that somebody guides us, somebody names us, somebody does this, and this is who we are. We're not our bank account. We're not our social security number. We're not, those are just identifiers, but that has nothing to do with the soul that we are.
Right.
And it can change every time. But two things I really want to share, this is so important for me, is to share instant forgiveness. Forgive yourself. If there's an exchange of information, it's energy trying to find an equilibrium. So people are going to misunderstand people. This is where language becomes problematic. So if I just say it's a beautiful bridge.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that. So a big part of what's happening too. And I agree with you. We're writing the blueprint. We're writing the new template. We're the new good book, whatever you want to call it.
The new good book.
We're expanding the new good book. That's one of my old lines. But I think a big part of that too is what I call, and I know is part of my mission, is the 5D commerce, which is based on the honor system and based on paying it forward. And I've been doing that since mid-May with Soulogy, which is my existence basically. And I have to remind myself every 2 or 3 days when I've got to leave a tip, or I've got to do this or do that, and I've always been able to do it since May. But I think a big part of that too is integrating or converging these multiple souls, multiple expressions, and supporting the whole. So Soulogy, that's one thing we want to do, and we want to be open about it, because everything should be transparent. We are transparent. We are authentic. We're becoming more telepathic. And like the universe told me 7 years ago when I was expanding on the streets, just remember that the whole world is going to know everything you've ever done. So we might as well get over with it, right? But
it doesn't matter, really.
I know you're in transition. I know you're up in Wisconsin, and you're going to be on the move again. We want to do everything we can. I know how that feels. We want to do everything. I can't wait to hook up with you again. And I know that'll happen, but we want to do everything we can to expand the awareness about the things that you do, because the truth carries a frequency that speaks for itself. Anyone that's been watching this live or on the replay, or that's been exposed to you, knows that you're straight up 100% raw and real. And so we're interested in supporting you in an equal universal energy exchange. So can you just kind of go over again some of the things that you do in as a practitioner, assisting people, and also where we can find you?
Sure. So you can read more about me and see some videos I've done on my website, which is Shakara Tosha. That's SHAKARA TOSHA.com. And you can find out more about these light language services I offer. They're basically guidance sessions where I speak light language and connect with a person and their higher self, with me and my higher self and the guides, and just bring through messages and understanding and energy, and to really shift places where people get stuck, or they want to understand something in a different way, or they just want to, they're ready to make some kind of big change or shift or something. But it can be about any topic. It doesn't really matter, but it's transformational. Every single session that I've done, I'm still astounded that so much interesting information comes through, and I'm just going on what people say. So, but it feels very life-changing, when these energies come through and the messages, and they'll, people that'll be really stuck with something for a while go, wow, wow, what just happened? I don't know. Or I'll get letters, emails a week later, like, oh my God, my whole life shifted, something. So somehow these languages help in a lot of ways. So it can be about career that we talk about. It doesn't really matter because there's the same thing, same thread going through everything. It's like they're getting unstuck so that they can do whatever work that they need to do now. So I offer those, and there's a link on my website under services, light language services. I think half an hour, an hour and a half. I also do these drawings in person. But the thing is, what I'm really guided to do right now is do more interviews like this. I really want to just share on lots of different topics. And I want to do more presentations and workshops. So I'm available for, I'm actually starting my own. I'm going to start, I'm writing some books. I'm doing CDs. Oh, hey, Jeanette. There's a testimonial right there. I just popped up. Just really amazing. Like, all this material is going to manifest. I'm going to do some free webinars, paid webinars, but not that expensive, because I really want to spread it out more to people. And also, I'm starting to collaborate with other artists. I'm doing music, light language with funk, jazz, blues, ambient, guitarists, sound healers, that kind of thing, energy workers. I'm doing a lot of really collaborative projects with people. So I'll be mentioning later.
How about your crazy brother? Can you do one with me?
Yeah. So yes, I will, definitely.
I'm just playing with you, but yeah, somebody put it up. Angel Divine put it up. Shakara Tosha.com. I'll give her some support. I'm going to put this out into the network. Let's drive some people, friends, family, over there to her site. Let's support her. This is what we do, and we all pay it forward. And the other thing I want to do, I just want to kind of, at least from my viewpoint, because I try to simplify everything. But from what I gain from people that I know that have, and what you've also shown to me, is really it's not even in the rational, human rational, 3D rational, logical. It's beyond that. It's really about activations and opening memory and code in the person you're working with, and really leading them to their own self-empowerment. Would that be a good summary?
Yep. These guys told me to call myself a creative inspirationalist. So I have to live it, which means there was times when I had a lot of money and times when I had no money. I was guided to go to Sedona and leave everything and start fresh so that I could learn how to manifest things from scratch. There are times when I helped a lot of people in the past, energetically and lovingly and financially. And, that balance comes back and forth. I've had amazing helpers, supporters, helpers, just people I can stay with as I'm moving around. But I really made a prayer, probably big prayer, to be of service completely. I am literally being moved by spirit. Wherever I'm guided to go, whenever there's an event or I'm asked to go somewhere or something, I do that. And I also want to just mention about money. We're still living in a 3D world. And that's going to change. I think the whole financial system is, everybody knows, they don't know where it's going to go, but I'm already living in bartering communities and trading communities. And so when you talk about abundance, it's really about manifesting abundance. Yeah. So this is what I want to say to the people that are doing spirit work. Don't feel bad about asking for finances for your work, because it's just an energy exchange. This is what people, or a trade or something. There has to be, when you're expending energy, you're also receiving energy. But what I learned from my brother, Chief Golden Lady Eagle, is don't use the word money or bills or utilities anymore, because when you bring those words, you're actually calling them into existence. You say, I don't want bills, or I'm getting away from bills, or I have a bill to pay. You're bringing more bills. These energies shift, and when you can realign in your center and not worry, just don't worry about anything. You are so guided, so protected, so
Yeah.
looked out for. Nobody's going to hurt you. Nobody's going to take anything away. And if something gets stripped off of you, it's because you don't need it. You know, clothes, everything, whatever. You got everything you need. You already have everything you need. And it's also okay to ask for help. So you can tap into your guides. You can talk to the star guides. You can talk to your own guides and say, who are you? You know, some people just say, oh, I channel this energy. That's beautiful. But I really feel like these star people, these energies are here to help us, but they can't help unless we ask.
Yeah.
So, you know, I am on the road. This is what I'm doing. I've got all these messages. I want to share them with people, but I also want to paint. I want to make art. I want to make music. I want to jam with people because it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
So I need a little movement around with that, but you know, everything else will take care of itself, you know?
Yeah. And I just want to second that. I mean, I can say that, and I'm not saying I'm anything special. I'm special, like everyone else is special. But I'm living this too. And Shakara and I were both in the skinny. We were both in the skinny at the same time. I was literally day to day, you know, from the human perspective. But there is this magic that when you put your faith into it, in yourself, which is faith in the universe, and you move this direction that doesn't make sense, but it makes more sense, and it's more reciprocal every time you move that direction. It works, and
Yeah.
it's just not where we came from. It's something new. We're creating it, and it's incredible. So
That's one thing I just want to touch on is this, whatever they call the shift, ascension time, whatever, is really about us creating something that's never been done before. So people
yeah,
say, I don't know what my mission is. I don't know where to go. I don't know what job to take. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here when you get these awakenings. And the answer is feel it out. Feel it out. Ask yourself, what do you want to do? And start manifesting it from the inside out. Manifest the love that you want in your life. Manifest, you know, it's all law of attraction. When you raise your vibration, this is the core of all the messages, is when you raise your vibration, things that are somewhat negative just dissipate. They're not even in your field anymore.
that's right.
When you raise your vibration, you start attracting really bright people. They can't see you until you get up there, and then you kind of go, oh, hi, there you are. You know, so it's you call whatever you want in existence. But this idea about we're creating something that has never ever been done before, right at this moment. You know, we're creating new blueprints for our body systems. We're changing to crystalline structures.
Yeah.
Collectively, we're manifesting things. We're getting to a point where we're going to start manifesting flowers in our hands and whatever else, building new planetary systems. It's a training ground. So don't worry about it and just have fun with it. That's really, it's joy and laughter and happiness.
Yeah.
Amidst all the other stuff and not taking it too seriously. So.
A big plant-based cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, let me ask you, when you heading out, when do you think you're heading out?
I don't know where I'm going yet.
Well,
I'll get my mission this afternoon.
yeah. Well, we're gonna get settled tonight, and we're gonna be hitting it hard. So I want to support you. We want to support you. So let's get together again, because there's a lot we can do. We can do some music, some light language. People are very receptive to it, and it's obvious why. So, you know, the truth carries a frequency, and it's not about what we say. It's just about what the heart's putting out. And my sister here is a very unique and special soul with a very dynamic role on this earth. So I just want to say, let's get back together. You know, a few shows out. You know, maybe in a few days or whatever, and let's put something else together so we can support you and expand the awareness of what you do.
Thank you. I actually, can I make a little plug here and throw this in? I actually created a page on my site for your listeners. If people want to go, I'm doing a discount, a big discount, because I really want to share these messages with people. I'm doing discount sessions. If you go to shakaratosha.com/offer, I'm doing some deep discounts on like half an hour, hour, and 2 hour sessions because I'd really like to, this is how I'm supporting myself right now, but I really want to share this with people. And if you feel called to donate, if you want to support the work that I'm doing to get it out more and make it more available, I would appreciate that. And then I had an idea also to do a little raffle. So there's a little message on that page. If people want to, for every $10 increment, if they want to, whatever they feel, I'll enter their name in a raffle, and I'll give them a free, contribute toward, whoever wins will get a 1 hour light language session. So just a couple different kind of creative ways to get that flow going. But I'm really of service. So wherever I'm supposed to go, I think I'm going to head back west, probably Sedona, maybe Colorado, California. There's a couple really wonderful conferences going on that I'd like to be a part of, and ceremony, everything. So would love to keep in touch and work on some more videos and stuff and share some more messages. So
absolutely, get us a swimsuit and just jump in the ocean from California, come to Hawaii.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, I'm out in the cooler Midwest. This is what I want to say also with this journey. As you move it around so much, I was in Washington State at a Sasquatch conference, and then went to Serpent Mound for a ceremony there with beautiful people, and then Sedona and back to Chicago. And it's really amazing because you start feeling like you're levitating. Like I was just in Wisconsin a little while ago for a couple of days, and then I just came back here, and different landscape, but people are all the same. There's a heart in everyone, Yeah. And it's so much fun actually, because then I don't worry, miss, or long for something because I know I'm going to see it again. Yeah. This friend of mine, my brother, says we never say goodbye in Lakota because that means you're really gone out of this world. So we say see you later, see you down the road. And it keeps the energy alive. But it's so fascinating. I mean, I'm having so much fun moving around because I'm really respecting the uniqueness of each person and the differences of the land, and it's really pretty amazing. And getting I get downloads and uploads from the land and the people wherever I go. So I'm living my dream. So whatever you put out there, anything that you wish to manifest, just make it so. Put it in the future and live it as if it's already happening. That's actually one of the things I talk about, this higher dimensional manifestation. Don't think and project, I got to get a plan, I got to get ideas, I got to, that kind of thing. Just live it as if you're being that person. What does your life feel like? What does your environment smell like? What does your partner, feel like? And that's the law of attraction, and you will bring more of that to you. And then all of a sudden, just like I did the other day, I wake up and go, oh my gosh, I created this. I like this. Yes, that's the link. Oh no, shakaratosha.com/offer. I can post it in there too, but
yeah. Put it out there, and I'm going to have to start getting ready here because they're going to kick me out in 30 minutes.
Cool.
So
Cool.
I'm going to go get set up, and we'll be set up tonight. And we've got a show tonight with Matthew Patty out of, I think he's out of Sydney, Australia. He's a very conscious divine masculine. He's been on before, and Shakara, we'll get her back on here.
I'd be honored.
In this
Thank
little
you.
bit. Yeah.
Can I share one last light language message before we go?
I was going to ask you, but we have telepathy, so.
I just say yes, Todd. I'll start now. Okay, I just the message that's coming through is it's all fine, it's all good, and just have fun with your life and really, really love yourself and appreciate who you are, because every single person is important. Chuela kaina wa shambetese. Anoso ko to shime. No suno la kaina wa shambetese. Ano wa kaina wa shubotese kito to shine. No soko acht no wa shamato singi. Ano so ko to shime mo la kain to shama. No soko to shime no wasa. Ano soko to shime no la kaina wa shambotese kito to shime. And also, I know wala kaino shambotese. No support shime. Speak from my heart. I love you very much. I believe in everyone. Everybody has something important to contribute. So, Todd, I really appreciate who you are. Super cool, super amazing. And just honor what you're doing and your walk and your way and your spirit walk and all that stuff. And just have deep gratitude for everybody trying to figure this out, get through this, move forward. And it's a really, really beautiful time to be alive. So glad we're all part of that team.
You heard it here. It's a beautiful sister with a beautiful message. It's straight up. It's raw, real, and authentic. Let's do all we can to support her, and we'll be seeing her again soon. Wishing everybody a great day. Peace, power, protection, big ass love for you. Thank you, Shakara. I'll talk to you a little bit
Deep
later.
love. Okay, bye, brother.
Okay. Peace
See you
out.
later. Peace. Bye, everyone. Love you.